Money. Everybody wants to have more money. Whether it's 1k, 10k, 100k or a million, or even just £100. Money isn't everything, but it sure as hell makes your life a lot easier. Well, today I'm going to show you how to save 100k, and I think I'm in quite a good position to tell you how because I've done it twice. And I'm not doing this to brag in any kind of way. I think I've done quite well, but I don't think I've done amazing. And it's just to show you guys that it is possible. I've worked almost completely online and generated the vast majority of this income all myself. And I thought this would be really interesting to compare the two side by side, because the first time I did it wrong. And the second time I got it right. The first time I saved 100k, it took me 10 years, and the second time it took me just 5. And I could have done that even quicker. So hopefully by watching this video, you won't need a second time and you'll get it right the first time. And this video will show you how to save money in a much easier and faster way. And you won't waste money like I did. I know if I had this guide then, I'd have so much more money today. I've done everything the hard way, so you guys don't have to. As always, I'm all about transparency. So this video is going to be completely transparent. I'm going to show you what I saved year by year and show you how I managed to make that money in the first place. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the specific methods. I'll mention them on a surface level, but I will mention them in more details later so you can see exactly how to do them. As I really want to keep this video quite short and concise and as valuable as possible. So if you want more information on investing and how to make more money online, make sure you subscribe and stick around for that. I'm in a pretty good position to tell you how to do so. I've worked online for 15 years now and made all my own money. So I've got plenty of insights to share. So let's dive into this story and let's kick off where it all started. When I was 16. The ripe old age of 16. I made millions on Amazon, Shopify, Facebook, YouTube, crypto, the stock market. Nope, I got a job. That sounds like such a weird concept now when everybody wants to be the next big TikTok star, but no, I got a job. And to be honest, when I was that age, these kind of possibilities weren't available. I was very realistic and just wanted to earn money. And in a way, I think that's what you guys should do too. Don't be guided by these overnight miracles and think you're going to make millions off some crazy success story. You don't need to. Any normal person can do this. You've just got to apply yourself and put in the work and find some extra side hustles that can bring in some extra income. So I left school at 15, and at that age I was actually too young to get a job. I needed to be 16. So as soon as I hit the age of 16, I got my first job at a supermarket called Summerfield, which has now turned into the Co-op if you're from the UK, but for anyone not from the UK, it's basically a supermarket. And what I used to do there is work on a Saturday in the bakery, making cookies and bread and all that kind of good stuff. It was super basic and monotonous and found it really, really boring, but it taught me how to earn money. And I know that's quite beyond people these days. They don't want to get a basic job, but everybody really should, even at some point. Because that job that you really hate can really give you the motivation to start something you really love, which is what happened with me. I also used to help my dad at this stage. He was a gas fitter and installer, so I used to help him fit boilers, fit radiators, and kind of help with all that kind of stuff. And that taught me how hard manual work was. So something like that can teach you how hard work can be. And for me, that really reiterated that I needed to utilise my ability with computers and focus on that. So I left Summerfield and I still helped my dad when he needed me. But then I went to work for a company which was an online retailer for clothes. Now at this stage I was in college and I'd picked up some basic skills on digital media and how to process and how to edit images, and they really took advantage of that. So what I used to do is actually travel kind of half an hour to a shop. I'd manage the shop for them, and at the same time I would be cutting out images, which for those of you who don't know, it's one of the most monotonous, boring things you can ever do in your life. So basically, a product comes into an online retailer, they take a picture of the model wearing the product, and you have to cut slowly around the image and take up the background so it's a perfect white. It is so tedious and boring. So I was doing all that while running the shop for them, and I was getting paid a whopping £4.50 an hour. So I basically did that through college, through university on the side. And I saved around £5,000 in that time. It's not a massive amount of money because I wasn't really focused on saving money at that point. I was quite happy enjoying myself. I wanted to do other things than just work, which really was a mistake. I wasn't hardworking enough at that age and I could have saved more money. I was always really good with my money. I didn't waste my money, but at the same time, I wasn't earning a lot. So 5,000 wasn't a lot of money, but it was a good goal, and I'm glad I managed to save that in that time. And I learned some really valuable lessons about what I did and didn't want to do. So in college, I did digital media, which gave me a taste for all the different kinds of digital media available and different things I could do. I then went to college and did graphic design. Now this is where it got interesting. Now graphic design is vastly aimed towards things like brochures, logos and things like that. And when I started looking for a job about halfway through university, I came to realise all the requirements they were asking for and things they wanted and where I'd have to travel to get the job. I would actually make more working in the supermarket than I would doing this job. They were that low paying. So I thought, this is just not good enough. I've put all this time, I've gone to college, I've gone to university. I can't end up doing something for less money than I would have had without all of those skills, which sounds absolutely crazy, but that's a situation I was in. So then I thought to myself, okay, what can I do? I knew web design was on the rise and I thought, well, can I teach myself to code? So I thought, okay, I'm going to dive in and I'm going to try and do this. So what I did then, I took an online course at home and I spent the next 3 months learning how to code. And at that stage, I could build websites. So then I put myself out there online, started getting website jobs. And actually, by the time I finished university, I had more client work than I did university. And university was really becoming a bother. So in my final year of university, I wasn't earning a load of money, but I did manage to save. So between my last year in university and my first year working, I actually managed to save about £20,000, which was fantastic. So that brings my total up to £25,000, which was really great for my age. So at the age of 23, I had the really bright idea to start my own jewellery business. Now this was actually really good for me and it's completely different from what you see now. Whereas you see now, people are just connecting the supplier in China to the end user and they're not getting involved. I was buying all of the stock, I was stocking it in my bedroom. My bedroom was literally filled with shelves full of jewellery and I was sending out all the orders myself. I was packing them, marketing it, selling it. I wasn't relying on things like Facebook ads and all that kind of jazz. I was doing it all myself. But that worked out really well. I was attending trade shows and going to shows and selling to people face to face, which I was really good at because I could get across my personality. And that's a really nice little business to have. Going to stores and selling is really nice and it teaches you a lot of the basics of sales, kind of engaging with customers and all that sort of thing. So that went really well. I ended up selling to over 50 different countries. I was getting really good orders on the weekend. Sometimes I'd have up to 100 orders on the weekend and that did really well. So that year, with the jewellery business combined with my web design business, I was able to save £25,000, taking my total up to £50,000. Now at that stage, because I'd done so well with my jewellery, I thought, why not start another business? And I had the bright idea of starting a line of designer women's handbags. So I actually designed all of my own bags, I got the brand made, I shipped over all these handbags and stored them in my house and it was crazy. I had so many, but trying to sell them was a complete nightmare. Selling jewellery and selling bags was completely different. I'll talk about those in a later video, but essentially the bags were a flop. I couldn't sell them, I couldn't market them, and my big idea was I'll have small bags I'll give maybe to YouTubers for free, they can review and link back to me, and I had loads of them, willing to give them away to everybody, nobody would take them. I think the smallest offer I had was £1,000 to promote a bag, right up to about £50,000 with someone like Zoella. So really, it was just way too much money to give it for free, plus all of this extra money to try and launch the brand. And I didn't take that into account at all. So with that business, I actually lost £14,000, which is a nightmare. But it was a really valuable lesson, and I do think if you don't try, you just don't get anywhere. So I did that, and I was down to around £36,000. So that was a step backwards on my saving journey. So at that point, I doubled down on my web design business and the jewellery because that's what was working. And I managed to save an extra £24,000, taking my total up to £60,000. And this year, I also invested and I managed to make 5% return on my money. So I was actually up to £63,000. So things were really starting to take shape. From then on, my jewellery business flopped. And that was because I kind of nearly got sued. Now I'll save that story for another video because it's a long story. So I had to stop that business and I had to really double down and focus on web design. Now from there, I managed to save £17,000, taking me up to £80,000. And the following year, I saved an additional £20,000, hitting my £100,000 target. So that's how I saved £100,000 in 10 years. Now at that stage, I bought a house with a £100,000 deposit at age 26, which is a really good achievement and something I was really proud of. And of course, living at home did help me massively. So I have to thank my parents for that. Staying at home kept my costs low, so I didn't have to pay for rent or mortgages. And to be honest, I liked living at home. So it wasn't really a downside to me living at home till I was 26. It was something I enjoyed, as I am a really big family person. So with that being said, that's the first time I saved £100,000. Now let's talk about the second time I did it, because this is when I did it a lot better. So for the first few years, I just bought the house, and to be honest, I was investing in the house and my money and my costs weren't as good. So I was putting all my money into the house, so I wasn't able to save as much money as I did in the past. So at age 27, I managed to save £5,000. Age 28, I'd managed to save another £20,000, plus I gained a bit of interest. So I was actually up to £25,500. And this money was being generated all by my web design business, and it was coming in that way. And this does kind of show that you don't need all these magical streams of revenue. You can just focus on something that really works and keep putting money in. And from 28 to 29, I actually managed to make some money on stocks. So my balance by the age of 29 was £32,000. Now this is where it really started to ramp up and where I really started to do things right. So then I discovered matched betting. Now I've never really been a betting person and don't really like sports at all. So for those of you who don't know what match betting is, it essentially means you bet on the outcome of a football game or a tennis game, etc. And basically you're betting that a team's going to win and it's going to lose. And you're basically trying to claim that free bonus that the betting site offers. They don't like you doing this, but you claim all of those bonuses. So bonus, 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 bonus. You then place bets again and you kind of cash out those bonuses. It's really easy and all your profit is tax-free, which was really great. So I was able to save another £6,000 from that, and that was over 8 months. If you're interested in match betting, I'll leave a link down below if you want to check that out, because it's definitely worth doing. It's a non-scammy way to make money. Anybody can do it, and it's really simple. You just follow the instructions on the website, and it's really simple. So it's something I'd recommend to anyone looking for some extra cash. So between my match betting and my web design business, I was able to take my savings up to £65,000. I had a slight return on the stock market as well, but it was when things crashed. So I lost a little bit of money, but I still hit £65,000. Now this is where it went really right for me, and I invested that money in solid UK companies that were hit by coronavirus that I knew were going to recover. So between 30 and 31, I went from £65,000 to £100,000. So I've hit that £100,000 again, but this time within a 5-year period. And I could have done it even quicker if I would have saved more money. So that was a much better approach to hitting the £100,000. So what did I do differently? Well, the first thing I did differently was I invested the money. And that's the number one thing I would say to anyone looking to save money, is invest as early as possible. The sooner you can put money away in an S&P 500 tracker or a FTSE tracker, you can just invest your money, get that return year on year. It'll slowly build up in your account. It's really low risk, and it's something I recommend everybody to do. If you haven't done and you're new to investing, I'd sign up to Freetrade because it's the app I use. It's probably the simplest way for anybody to invest. I'll leave a link down below because you get a free share if you sign up. And I'll do a complete video on that soon, how to open an account and how to invest step by step. So make sure you subscribe for that. I also definitely should have started match betting earlier because it was such an easy way for me to make extra money. And I could have done it when I was really young, even when I didn't have the skill. And that would have given me so much more money to invest in the first place. But you do live and learn with these things. You make mistakes and it's not always a straight path. But I'll leave all of the links below for you guys to check these things out. So I hope you guys can take from this that it's not always a straightforward path. You have to do some things you don't enjoy and just work hard. Stop searching for miracles and trying to make it rich, because it probably just won't happen and you'll end up wasting a lot of time. And don't fall for these fake promises and courses that are going to promise you the world. So what you want to do is invest, set and forget, and then just focus on making more money. I know it sounds crazy, and a lot of people will be telling you how to save with the whole financial independence community. It's all about saving and not spending money. But actually, I do spend money, not on crazy things, but I live my life. And I think that's what you guys need to do too. Just don't waste your money on stupid things and save, and keep saving regularly. Find something that works, that you can make money, put it away month on month, year by year. I've got friends that have earned less than me that have actually got double the amount of money that I have. It just shows you don't need to earn a massive amount of money to hit 100k. It's just about investing that money right. So hopefully this video is going to help you guys achieve 100k and save that target, or whatever your target might be. And I'm sure you guys are going to achieve it or even surpass me. If you've got any questions about how I made money on my journey, or want to know anything in particular, let me know down below and I'll reply to every comment. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.